Hey guys, welcome back. In this episode, I'm going to be talking through the next few things that I'm going to be working on for my Porsche 911 991, and also an exciting new toy that I'm going to be installing in the garage. Let's go check it out. So, as many of you know who follow me and watch my videos, you know I like to spend time in my garage, which is one of the reasons why, and primarily the reason why I finished it, because I spend so much time out here, and I like to work on my car. I do work on my wife's Highlander and the Cayenne, but it's really all about the 911, let's face it. I do modifications, I've wrapped it, I add things, tinker with things, the CarPlay, the sports chrono clock, the emblems, all that kind of good stuff. But I also like doing maintenance jobs. I like doing the oil, it's a really fun job to do. Air filters, cabin filters, working on the brakes is also another favorite job of mine to do. And there are maybe some other jobs I'd like to try and tackle in the future, like coils, spark plugs, that sort of stuff. But at the moment, I'm sort of having to use just a simple quick jack. And that only allows me to lift up one side of the car. I've seen some people push it and they have two jacks and that lifts up one side of the car or one end of the car. But the more time you're going to be spending under the car, the more reliable a solution you want to have. I'll use a quick jack or a pump jack, whatever they're called, to raise the car up to change a wheel or to put a spacer on, or at the most amount of time, spending half an hour or 45 minutes doing the brake pads. But even then, I try and keep my feet away from the car just in case it fails, and I never want to be under there. So if I'm going to be under doing the car, what do I need? I need some kind of lift. And that's what I'm going to be exploring in this video. I'm really excited to start talking with you about it. And I'm also looking for advice from you guys. I know some guys have looked into this already in the Porsches and Pancake group. I've got a friend or two with a couple of different solutions for this, and I'm really interested in anything you've got to say. But before we do that, let's go and look at the workbench over there where I've got my next few jobs lined up that I'm going to be doing on the car while I'm not traveling. It's incredible how much content I can make early mornings and evenings and at weekends when I'm not traveling for my job. As much as it sucks to be quarantined and this horrible thing that's going around at the moment, I'm sort of trying to focus all of my downtime on something to keep my mind off this whole scenario. And that usually means coming into the garage and cleaning or tinkering or doing something. So I've done 4 videos in the past 4 days. That would usually be a good month's worth of content. I've probably got another 3 or 4 videos lined up here, which I'm going to be doing over the course of the next week. Who knows? Maybe I'll do them all this weekend. I don't know, but let's go check them out. Okay, so the first little toy to play with this week is this AWE wind deflector triangle, which I got from Suncoast Parts. It's about $70. These go on the corner, if you will, of your driver and passenger side windows. And from what I understand, it makes the cabin experience a little bit more enjoyable when you've got the windows down. I mean, really? For $70, it's worth a try. If they don't work, I will be giving these away to a lucky viewer who wants to give them a try as well. But yeah, they apparently just click into place. When I do the video, I'm going to do a before and after. So I'll drive around with the windows down with the stock triangles, and then with these triangles, and see if it really makes any difference. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. But that sounds like a bit of fun for a 20-minute video or whatever. So that's the first job. Suncoast Parts, $70 or so, wind deflectors. The exciting thing is that if they do work and they look awesome, you can get these in carbon fiber. They're not $70, they're more like $350. But you know, it's something to think about. I mean, carbon fiber things on the window, why not? All right, so that's the first job. The second job is really not something that's going to go in my car and stay in my car. It's just a DIY video that a couple of people have asked for. And I'm probably going to just uninstall it once I'm done and then send the stuff back or ship it on to anybody on the channel who's interested in it. But this is a fire extinguisher mount for the inside of the car. This is actually from a local company. I say local, Wisconsin, the next state over to the east. From 928 Motorsports. It was relatively inexpensive. Again, I want to say it was like $70 or $80. It is stainless steel, I guess, or aluminum. It comes with its own installation guide, and you know, online and also in the package. It's going to sit on the floor in front of the passenger seats. I'm going to get a little. Actually, I have a little. Yeah, down there. I have a little fire extinguisher already. Apparently it's supposed to fit with any number of different fire extinguishers. For $80, I don't know, it's worth a go. But lots of people have been asking me to do this because I think some folks have gone out and spent like $40 on something from eBay, which is plastic and rattles and has fallen apart. A few other people are looking at the Porsche spec, or at least higher end options, which, you know, looking online, you can spend $200 or $300 just on the mount for this fire extinguisher. I don't know whether or not there's a Porsche OEM one. I believe there is, because I'm pretty sure they're available for the GT cars in the configuration tool. But either way, do you want to spend $40 on a piece of crap from eBay, which apparently is shoddy and fall apart and breaks? Do you want to spend $200 or $300 on something that you may never use? Or is there an interim solution? And that's kind of like, you know, what I like, in the middle, if you will. So for $80, I'm going to give that a go. Little more exciting. Whoops, I'm losing my mount. If you saw one of my videos recently, you'll know that I bought a Uniden R3 radar and laser detector, and that went into my 911. I like it so much that I contacted the manufacturer and got myself a blend mount and mirror tap for my Cayenne. Now, I take my Cayenne on business trips every now and again when I'm moving around the Midwest. This year I've been going to Chicago quite a lot. I've been going to Des Moines, and that's a good sort of 3, 4, 5 hours on the road. And I have often hit the brake pedal a couple of times, worrying that there's going to be a cop on the hill or you know, whatever. So for those longer journeys, the idea of just being able to pull out my R3 and just shove it straight in the Cayenne, and it's really just plug and play, pretty cool. And again, it's another excuse to make a nice video. So I'm going to be doing the mirror tap in the Cayenne for anyone interested, and then I've also got the blend mount, which is, it looks pretty similar, but it's slightly chubbier, I think, for the Cayenne. And then mods, last but not least. My friend Ben with the white 991, there are two Bens, new Ben with his 991 4S, he installed one of these backup cams and actually a front cam as well. I've just gone for the backup cam. I'm pretty excited about this. This is from Kai Store or CAI Store. It was 150 bucks. It arrived in a couple of days. I need to take off the front bumper. It comes with a custom drill part. There is a little bit of drilling to do to get this into the bumper. I've then got to run the wires up to the Joy Auto device at the front of the car so that it can show up in CarPlay. And then I also need to do some power tapping. And I think I'll be tapping the rear light. So this one's pretty involved. I imagine this is going to be an all-day job. And that's also going to make for an interesting video. This is something else that a few people have asked for. Have I installed backup cams? How easy is it to do? So I guess we're going to find out in the next week. So that's it. Pretty excited. Another few mods. Would you call them mods? Maybe, whatever. But another couple of exciting jobs to do. Now, let's get on to the super exciting thing about this video, which is to talk about the lift that I'm going to be installing. So let's get to that. So let's talk about the lift. I've always wanted a lift in my garage. It's like, one of those dream garage kind of things that you really want to have. But it hasn't been until the kids have gotten a little older, Luke's now 3 and Adam's going to be 2 in May, that I've sort of started to worry about the time they're spending in the garage. And working on brakes last year, Luke was 18 months, and he came out, and I was just terrified that the jack that I have was going to fail and it would fall on him. So that's one of the main reasons why I want to get a lift now, as they're like running around and just like all over the place. High energy, always wanting to be in the garage with their dad working on cars. They know I'm into cars. They are actively trying to get into the garage to play with the cars, with or without me. So I want to continue to have a safe environment in here. So the twin Busch system is, you can either get it in low rise, which comes up to about 39, 40 inches off the ground, or you can get the full rise, which is, let's just say, twice that. I don't think it's quite twice that, but it's basically a full lift, quote unquote, that you can kind of get under, or at least Matt Mormon has the full size version of the one that I'm going for from Twin Busch. And look, he's like 6'2", I think, or 6'3". He sort of stands there with his GT2 RS, sort of the exhaust sort of at his head. So, you get it off the ground enough to sort of get under there. I'm going to go for the low rise. So I don't really need to worry about the length of the car because the scissor lift is going to go between the wheels, and I know the car fits in already. I've got 2 things to worry about. One is my garage bay wide enough to be able to install it, but then also have the car on and use it without having to move the other 2 cars around, because I'd hate to have to move the 2 cars out of the garage to use the lift. I want this to be, sort of completely encapsulated within this bay, within this workspace. And then the second thing I need to contend with is the height. So we'll see how much space I've got. Now, I am able to move these up if I need to, but I'm hoping I won't need to do that. So let's see how much space I've got to play with. From this side of the garage, to the garage door, to this side, looks like I've got about, I'm using the tiles here as a pointer, which is helpful. It looks like I've got about 92 inches or 93 inches safely to play with. And if I need 79 or 80 for the scissor lift, then I should be able to center them nicely. If that's the case, then how much space am I going to have to play with on this side? About 18 inches, which is just less than 2 feet. So I think it's going to fit here. I'm going to be able to work comfortably around I might need to move the bikes to the basement or somewhere else, but I should be able to work comfortably behind the car and on the driver's side. If I want to do something on the passenger side, it's going to be pretty tight. So maybe that's where I'm going to have to turn the car around. That's not the end of the world. But what I don't want to do is sort of reverse my car in and park it in between the scissors that would be potentially off-center to the left here, which then puts them closer to my wife's car, which then becomes a trip hazard. So I don't want to do that. Now let's look at vertical. The lowest point here, I think, are these guys. This is slightly higher. So let's take this measurement. I need, 50 plus, I need 90 inches to be safe. I've got safely 85 inches. Now let's take a look at this. 87 inches and 85 inches. So I guess I've got a choice. I can either use the low scissor riser and only take it up like 4 notches instead of 5 or 6 notches or whatever it is that takes it all the way to the top. You are able to put it up safely and it kind of clicks as it goes up. I could take it up like 3/4 of the way and still get the car off the ground to work on without moving these, or I'm going to have to move these. Now what I can do is buy just a piece of metal which extends these up, and then I raise this up. This is just bolted on. I can cut this off here and raise the entire thing up by even a foot would help me out. And that's not going to affect the operation of the door. So I'll probably have to do that. But that's it. That's great news, right? I can get the lift in, I can get the car on, I can work on it. I'm excited. Hey guys, so that's it for another video. What do you think? What do you think about the lift? I'm really interested to know. So hit me up in the comments below. Scissor lift, quick jacks, 4-post, 2-post. Anybody out there with lifts that have actually gone through this process already? I'd love lessons learned. I'd love any sort of insight that you might have to offer. Folks out there that have always thought about them or don't even know what lifts are, I'm interested in your feedback too. Looking forward to chatting with you online. Stay safe and healthy, and I'll catch you in the next video. Take care. Bye.